Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of Level Dive Flux, the television and film arm of the Level Dive podcast. I don't know, system? Level Dive podcast thing? Whatever.
Good start.
Good, yeah, whatever. Who gives a shit? Nobody's going to watch this shit. I got like 30 viewers total, and most of them are people who don't even fucking listen to it.
And they're related to you.
Today I'm joined by my good friend Mike, who you've all heard of before, and my uncle Will. Everybody say hello.
Hi. Hello.
So before we start this episode, I want to do two things. One, shout out to Julio. You're a fucking cool-ass dude, and I appreciate you. Thanks for watching the show. Number two, I have a little anecdote that I want to talk about. So on Thursday of this week, I came home from work and I had like an interview. I had something I had to do. So I come in, I come home, I take a massive shit. Okay. So I'm a man who comes home and he takes a shit. And when I wipe my ass, I wipe my ass. Okay. And I wipe and then I'm satisfied with it and I move on.
Do you look?
I look a little bit, but it's just like I wipe and then it feels like it's clean and then I just move on. So I was like, all right, I'm going to take a shower because I have a little bit of some shit to do after this. So I get in the shower. I'm scrubbing up. I'm cleaning myself. I was so upset that you're in the room for this. It's all good. Yeah, I know. I know you didn't. Well, here we fucking go. I know. I understand what you wanted to do, but here we fucking go. So I'm like scrubbing my body and shit. And I'm going to like clean my butthole out, like clean my ass. And my hands, and the correct word is squish. Okay? I want you to like really feel that word inside your brain because I'm going to like spread my butt cheeks apart to like clean the inside of my ass.
Will right now?
Will and Mike, and we are recording, so everything that you say is heard. So this is the most unprofessional episode we've ever done. No, it's all good. So I go and I'm like ready to spread my ass out so that I can like wash the inside of my butt, and like my hands. Hold on, it links into the conversation.
It relates to Survivor.
It relates. Well, I don't want this to be 5 minutes long. It's already 3 minutes long. Okay, it was supposed to be a quick anecdote. So I reach in to fucking spread my ass cheeks apart so that I could wash the inside of my asshole. And my hands squish on like literal turds that are stuck on the outside of my ass. And I'm just like, oh, sweet Jesus. And I like look at my hands and it's just like, I'm like, oh no. And I like turn around and I'm like, I bend over to like spray water directly into my ass so that I can like clean it off. And like, I'm just watching the brown water just come down, right? And like, not just that, but I'm watching like, yeah, I know. You shouldn't have been in here for this. I've been planning this for like the last 3 days. So I know it's horrible. I know it is. I know.
I'm so excited to hear the link between the two.
So, and then like not only is the brown water coming out, there's like little like Cocoa Crispy sized like full turds like also dropping and like washing away. And I'm like, dude, I'm like looking at all this shit, like this literal shit, and I'm just like, I swear to God, I wipe my ass like good enough. And I'm thinking like, this is why I could never, ever be on Survivor. Like, so let's talk about Survivor. 4 minute anecdote.
Speaking of that, the rumor has it that the most common way they take dumps on the show is just by walking into the ocean and just dumping into the ocean.
Oh,
yeah,
horrible.
Makes it easy to wipe too. It's called an aqua dump.
Aqua dump. That's the way to do it. Oh my God, dude! I thought they like shat in holes. I thought they like shat in holes.
I thought so too, but like apparently the best way to do it is just dump in the ocean, make it easy to wipe. Plus, like you don't have to dig a hole and bury it, and then you don't have like cameramen watching you do that, and then no one can sneak up on you while you're taking a dump either.
Oh,
yeah, but that's gonna wash ashore though for sure.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Like, doesn't that like you eat the fish that you shit into their water?
And then the fish eat your shit, and then you catch them.
Right.
Yeah.
Gross.
Don't worry about that part.
Yeah. Ugh.
I didn't realize how highbrow this podcast was.
This is a sophisticated podcast for adults.
Like if I heard this,
My wife is now
I'm gonna
back in the
survive with
room,
them.
giving me the most disgusted look I've ever seen, like come out of her. And I also heard you talking hella bullshit about.
I wasn't talking any
Whatever.
bullshit.
All right, so
I know.
let's talk about the fact that this show has been on for like 30 years. I remember, like, I watched like the first few seasons way back. I watched like 12 or 13 seasons. And I just, like, at that point, I got tired of, like, reality television because I felt that it was just, like, all the same, and Survivor felt really samey. What was something that always kept you two coming back? I mean, because I know you guys watch it every week. What was something that kept you coming back every week?
To watch people lose, I think.
To watch people lose.
Yeah.
For me, it was the fact that first my brother found out about the show when he was like 7, and he got into it about like season 2, and then once we moved to our new house, it was like season 3 or something around the year 2001. Then my parents started watching it, and then because my parents started watching it, I basically had to watch it because I had nothing else to do. So basically, for the first 5-10 years, I would just watch Survivor because it was just something I did every Thursday night.
Yeah, that's how me and my mom were too. It was just like we would watch it every week. It was just like we watched what was that Around the World show? Fucking Amazing Race. Oh, dude, I watched like so much Amazing Race.
Yeah.
And like it was that. It was Amazing Race, it was fucking Survivor, and then Big Brother during the summers because Big Brother was a summer show. And we watched all that shit. And then like I was just like I can't do this shit anymore. It's like it all felt like super samey. But my wife and I just actually recently we did like a binge. We watched nothing but Survivor for like 3 days and we finished like 4 seasons. We were just like, this is what we're doing. We're watching fucking Survivor, and it was fucking awesome. So like I'm thinking like Survivor's still like a good show because I mean obviously it's been 30 fucking years and it's still going, and like there are still avid fans. I really wanted to talk more and more about the history of Survivor and sort of how it's managed to keep people interested this long. I mean, there's been so many changes. I mean, you guys are the experts, okay? I mean, I watch it occasionally. I've seen some seasons, but I mean, you guys have seen it all. So, like the games, like what are some of your guys' favorite games? There's the puzzles and there's just the physical ones.
Challenges?
Yeah, the challenges. Do you guys like the puzzles? Puzzles? Christ.
Puzzles.
Yeah. Do you guys like the puzzles or the physical challenges?
Well, to be an expert real quick, it's actually since 2000.
Oh boy.
So it's not 30 years.
Yeah, actually. It's only been 19.
It's only
been
19
years.
Almost as long as you've been alive. Yeah. Okay. I know it's not, but like, what season are they on? What season is it?
37.
Exactly. So we're 30 plus seasons, not years.
Technically, I'm right.
Technically. So, wow, this is going great.
Yeah. Personally, I've always preferred the physical challenges way more than like the puzzle challenges.
Same.
Like the I don't know if you've seen this challenge, but one of my favorite challenges of all time is the sumo wrestling challenge, where it's basically one-on-one, one person from each tribe.
Yeah, I liked. Like it wasn't like a sumo wrestling one. It was like a straight up wrestling one, where it was like there was a ring, and it was like each person has a thing. Just fucking fuck them up, dude. And like people got in hella trouble for that because it was like they were just like slamming women onto the ground and shit, and it was just oh god, what fucking season was that? But I remember
the challenge I think you're talking about is I think it's called Smurgen Brawl. There's like 3 balls in the middle, and they basically have to beat the shit out of each other, grab the ball, then throw it back to their teammates so they can shoot and make a hoop.
That shit's brutal.
Yeah, both times that challenge has occurred, like people have gotten injured, and one person got medevaced because they went so ham on that challenge that they basically had an asthma attack.
Fuck yes. Oh,
Yeah.
dude. People getting
The one that
medevac
sticks-
was fucking. Go ahead.
So the one that sticks out the most when it came on, I was fairly younger, and it was one of those endurance competitions where it says like who can stay on the longest doing like standing on a pole or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's one interesting one where there was a couple of fairly beautiful women on that
Nice.
season, and I forgot how it came up, but some of them said they would strip down naked for like some peanut butter as they're standing on this pole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And one of the guys like, "Damn it, get them some peanut butter right now,
Get them peanut butter now.
bro!
Yes.
Get the peanut butter."
And so then, of course, probes had to get the peanut butter, so they did it.
Dude, did she really
If
strip
I'm that
down now?
It was 2 ladies that stripped down for it. Yeah.
They ended up doing Playboy too.
Fuck yeah. What?
Yeah, you can see the whole shebang if you look it up too.
Oh,
I like the endurance ones though, because like anyone could win one of those. Like the
Yeah,
fat
I
guy
like those
or the
too.
skinny dork.
It really is like a test of how strong are you internally. Like how much power of will do you have over yourself? And those ones are brutal. I mean, like 6 hours have elapsed, and it's just like, what? Like, I could not be fucking standing on a pole for half a day. Like, no, fuck that.
I could barely stand up for 6 hours.
Like,
For the endurance challenges, there's 2 things I want to say about that. The first one is like one of my favorite moments of all time is during season 10 pullout. They did an endurance challenge where you had to like basically balance on a buoy for the final immunity, final 3, and 2 guys stood on the buoy for 11 hours and 40 minutes.
holy shit.
So basically half a day until one guy willingly stepped down and agreed to get himself voted out because he wanted to redeem his friendship to everybody else because he had like gotten morally beat the hell out of during the final 4.
Yeah. See,
And
this is one of the things, like, this is perfect because this segues absolutely perfectly into one of my little talking points here. I fucking despise the fact that the winner is chosen by a vote. I fucking
Really?
hate that shit. I fucking hate it. It should come down fucking to 2 people, and it should be an ultimate challenge. It should be everything they've ever experienced. It should be endurance. It should be mind. It should be physical. And they should have to do a 3-step fucking competition, and the final one who conquers it all is the winner. But it
That's
comes down
fucking
to
retarded.
the final
yeah, that's
3,
retarded.
and it's
Could you take away,
retarded from my ideas. Retarded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Because you
what?
take away all the gameplay aspects.
What are you
and
do-
just go into it.
You take away
I'd
what
never talk
makes
to
the
anyone.
show interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck
You have to
off.
blame people.
No,
Outplay-
dude, it's
outplay.
fucking bullshit that the cute girl, like, dude, that chick who just like fucking sucked dudes' dicks and got to the fucking end of the
Barbie?
show like 4 times. What's her fucking name?
Is it
Parvati.
Yeah, Barbie or whatever the fuck. She won like twice, and she was just like, "Oh my god, like you're just like let's just like go to the final 2," and then she wins because she's got tits. It's like, fuck off. It should be a competition. What? Okay, so the episodes consist of people talking to each other, sure, but also the main thing that happens every episode is fucking people competing for shit. They compete in physical challenges. They compete in mental challenges. They compete in endurance challenges. And that is the way the show should end, in my opinion, because it's just like, it's so anticlimactic. They get to the final 2, and then it's just like a vote. Everybody just like votes. Like, oh my god, I just like liked her better, and then she wins. And it's like Russell, who's the greatest fucking Survivor player of all time, like loses because despite being the greatest Survivor player of all time, people didn't like him because he played them too well. So how is that fair? Like, he played the best game that's ever been seen in Survivor.
Okay.
Well,
Yet
I mean,
he
I do agree
loses
he's
because
one of the best.
somebody didn't like him.
I do agree he's one of the best, but he was getting kind of cocky, and that Mexican
Not his first
chick
season.
did burn his hat.
Not his
So
first season.
That Mexican chick burned his hat. He lost his power, so that was different.
Okay, so explain to me why Russell is the greatest.
Okay, so
I'll devil's advocate.
Okay, so one of the things that I thought that made Russell one of the best is he played every single person against every other single person. He was like, I'm going to be your friend. I'm going to be your friend. That guy's a dick. This guy's a dick. He did that. Also, he was the first person in my memory who found, what are they called? Idols? Immunity idols without any clues.
Have you ever seen the show?
What?
Have you seen the show? Like the challenges, immunity idols? Okay, I'm just making sure.
What are you talking about? You talking shit right now?
Yeah.
Why?
He found the jewelry.
What? He did. Like, what? It was just like he knew. I remember like this. I remember this specific episode where he was like, "Dude, I'm gonna go out and just like find one of these immunity idols right now." And he just like walks into the forest and he goes, "It's probably underneath this bridge. Like that's where I'd hide."
That was a good episode.
And then he just like looks under the bridge and he goes, "Oh, here it is."
Boom.
And then he's like, "Yeah, of course I'd find it." And then he just like walks back into camp and he's invincible for however long. And then he does it at least one more time. He goes, "Well, I'm just gonna go find one." Or no, there's like that chase, right? He like runs off.
That was his second idol. The first idol he found, he was in the middle of the camp. He just like looked inside of a tree and he found it.
Yeah, no, that was the one I was gonna bring up just now. It's like the one inside of the tree where he's just like, "I'm just gonna like," boop, and just took it. I mean,
but his second idol, which was also really impressive, was immediately after he played his first one. So the day after he played it, he just was like, "I'm just going to go find another one." Then he went to the bridge and he found it. Then he played it again. Then that's where he got all 8 votes towards him negated, and he voted somebody out.
So good, dude. Oh my god!
But he played a very strong like social game.
He did.
Part of the game you don't like.
But like, no, I like the social part. I do. But that's. I guess it's fucked up for me to say the half that I like should be the deciding factor when the half that a lot of other people like should be the deciding factor. And I guess it's just because the half that I like, which is the competition of it all, has never been the deciding factor. And it's always been about how much dick did you suck in the season, and that's what gets you to win. And I just never liked it. I wish that switch it up. Like every other season, fucking compete to win. You know, because it's like, isn't it played out by now? Like, don't you just know? Like, if someone takes a cute girl to the end, which always happens, which is just like fucking retarded. Like, why would you ever take someone more beautiful than you to the end? She's gonna win because she's got assets and you have nothing. And it's just like, it should be final 2, fucking a girl and a dude, and it's just like, hey, we're not doing a vote this year. We have a set of 6 challenges. Party time. And then we all get, like, everybody gets to watch, like, something, like, super brand new. Like, it's never happened before, right? So it would be, like, a pretty sweet way to end the show, right? I mean, you can even do it in front of, like, a live audience. I mean, you can
do a coin toss.
Fuck off.
So just recently in season 34, I believe,
oh boy,
at the final 4, instead of having a vote off, they decided, okay, whoever wins immunity gets to decide who they want to bring to the end, and the last 2 people have to compete in a fire-making challenge automatically to decide who gets to go to the end. So if somebody is played a hell of a game and they get to the final 4 and they lose immunity, they still have a chance to get to the end. Mm-hmm. Do you think that's fine?
I like that.
There's a massive fan backlash against that because people did not like that at all.
Wait, so break it down for me again. So they did the vote, and then they were like, we're going to do a competition instead?
No.
Okay.
So the way it worked was they got to the final 4 immunity challenge.
Yeah.
And typically the way it works is, somebody wins immunity, then there's 4 votes, and then whoever, gets voted out.
Gets voted out, and then it's 3 people. And one person automatically makes it to the final 3, right?
So instead, they do the challenge in probes to goes like, okay, it's going to work a little bit differently. Whoever wins immunity gets this advantage, and then the person who won immunity opens up the advantage and it says you get to pick one person to go with you to the end, like just flat out.
Yeah.
The last two people will face off in a fire making challenge, meaning no votes
that's
are going to
fucking
be cast.
radical. That's fucking radical because fire making is essential to Survivor. So it's like if you didn't pull your weight at all during the entire show and all you did was suck people's dicks and you fucking made it to the end, then right now you're about to see if you fucking deserve to win $1 million. And guess what? You didn't fucking make fire one single fucking time because all you did was fucking just stroke shaft, and now fucking you get shafted because you suck. You literally suck. That sounds great. That sounds like a perfect way. But what I'm saying is, like, I would take it even a step further, where there's two people left and they Thunderdome that shit, and fucking one of them's the winner. One of them's the winner. That's what I would do if it was my show.
Like the 300-pound bodybuilder versus like the 89-year-old
Exactly.
woman.
Versus the 90-year-old woman. And guess what? She gets fucking
do you not
dominated.
think that's unfair?
The fact that she made it to the end of the fucking game is unfair. She should have been eliminated in the first week. She's 90 years old.
She's probably sucking a lot of dick, though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. People who suck dick
gummers.
shouldn't win. The people who suck dick shouldn't win. They should fucking lose. They should get eliminated. I don't think it's literally super biased. What man has made it to the end of the game by just sucking vag?
Hold on. Let me jump in. The very first winner of the very first season was a huge, what's the word? Homosexual. A naked homosexual.
He would walk around naked for
I think I remember that.
a couple days, yeah.
Nice. Did he have a fat cock?
I think they left a pretty tiny blur.
Oh, well, he shouldn't have won. Only fucking Chad should win, dude.
Okay, but to devil's advocate here, do you not think that the phrase survivor is like a double take on both surviving the elements and surviving the actual people out there on the island?
Of course. But that's
how
what I'm saying.
How are you to say that somebody's surviving in like a situation like that by catching a lot of fish is not as equally impressive as somebody surviving by just going around talking to somebody and talking shit about the guy who catches fish?
No, you're right. It is impressive. The fact that, like, even still today with 30 plus seasons of Survivor, that someone can come in and go, I'm going to play a 100% social game. I'm going to be like, okay in challenges, but I'm not really going to help. I'm going to, like, if somebody asks me to do something, I'll do it. But I'm not going to, like, hey, I'm going to go catch fish, or I'm going to go get coconuts. Like someone who just goes, hey, that guy said you're a fat cunt, and, like, just starts shit and, like, makes it to the end. Like, that's cool. It is cool. But I think that one of the pillars of this show is also the physical element. And I think up to this point, it has been more focused on the social game. And if they just took a chance, I mean, just like give me one season where the final winner is decided by a physical challenge. Like, do you not think that would be cool? I mean, it's been the same way the show ends for 37 seasons. Wouldn't it be cool to see? I mean, and typically they're, like, pretty equal. I mean, like, if you look at, like, Parby and Russell, like, they have their own strengths physically. You know, I think Russell was, like, kind of bad at some challenges. And, like, the producers of the show could say, these are the events that these people are strong and weak in, and we can devise a set of extremely complicated, fucking super sick physical challenges specifically designed for these two people to give the viewers an extremely good watching experience and test these players physically and mentally. And then at the end of it all, that will be the winner. Don't you think that would be a cool way to end a season of Survivor? I mean, give me something. Give me something here.
Like 30 days out, though. I mean, even like the strongest bros are like having a tough time. Like,
right. So, like, everyone's equal. At the
And
end, they're broken. They're tired because the final four is all just like the last 2 episodes of every fucking Survivor season is just like, oh my god, I'm just so tired. I'm so glad we made it to the final four.
I wouldn't like it because I would be more suspicious of producer manipulation, as in like, oh, there's a pretty good Chad bodybuilder out here that's really likable. We'll just throw a physical challenge at the end because we want him to win.
Yeah, I get
Okay.
suspicious of that shit too.
Okay.
So, for example, that season 34 I was talking about, where they
Yeah.
had the fire making challenge,
Mhm.
nobody knew that that the final four twist was going to exist
Right.
until that challenge.
Right.
And up until that point, there was a 30-year-old Marine who had played like 4 immunity idols in a row, and he was
Mhm.
going on this huge streak, and all he had to do was win this final immunity challenge to get to the end and like sweep the jury.
Yeah.
So people were like, obviously the producers put this thing because they wanted this all-American Marine hero to win.
Okay. Okay. All right. 100%. I can see that being an issue. I mean, I'm thinking perfect world here. 2 tired people fucking and they just go for it in a physical challenge. And you know, it's not like I want this person to win. Like I'm talking perfect world here where the producer's like I don't want the all-American fuck yeah Marine to win, where it's not like swayed by what the viewers are saying online. It's like let's give the people the coolest fucking way to end this show, and let's do like a crazy like 3-tiered physical, mental, endurance like so you like stand on a pole for like 6 hours, and then like whoever lasts longest gets to fucking start the next phase sooner, and then like they do like a swimming and then like a rope and then like some and then they climb up some shit and then they do like a puzzle. Like, dude, it would be
I think they do that like
sweet.
every season. They
What
do
do you-
that like every season.
What are you talking about? They don't end the show like that.
Usually the final
that would
5
be
or
a
4
horrible
challenges like
fucking
that.
show if they ended with a fucking challenge like that. But no, I mean the last challenge is usually like that, where the big buff beefcake is kicking ass until he gets the puzzle, and he just stares at it until a skinny guy runs through and fucking cleans it out.
Yeah.
I know, but then if you knew that that's the flow of the show, right? Is like it comes to a challenge where you're gonna have to test everything that you've ever done in the show. All in one go to actually win. I think it would actually improve the contestants, because then people would have to be more balanced in what they can do. It's not just some dumb hot beefcake man fucking comes in and just goes puzzles.
I always stopped watching. I probably stopped watching the show if it was like that.
I would
Seriously?
say.
Yeah, it's a horrible idea.
So,
Wow,
for example,
fuck
the reason
me.
why I
Holy
think the
shit.
reason why I think the jury format is so much better is because
It's just so boring.
dog's getting mad. No, but the reason why it's so interesting is because the jury doesn't have to vote for anybody for any reason why they want to. So, for example, when Russell lost Samoa to the blonde chick Natalie,
Yeah, because he was.
they lost it because Russell pissed them off. Meanwhile, you go like a few more seasons later, and you have Boston Rob going up against like a 18-year-old chick who sucked dick the whole time. he sweeps the jury 8-1 because they respected his game.
Well, he was
Okay.
a fucking mobster too. He was badass.
Yeah, so
I love
why
Boston Rob. Boston Rob's a classic. He's a fucking.
He even
got
one of those
married.
classic fucking
Got
guys.
married for those.
he got married to the girl he lost to
Yeah,
in like all the
yeah.
All-Star season,
I
but-
know this story. He fucking got
Yeah.
married to the chick he met on Survivor. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
he basically
dude.
won twice because of that. But
Yeah,
it's
fuck yeah,
interesting
he did.
because why did the jury in his season respect his game, whereas the jury in Samoa didn't respect Russell's game?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
And that is why there's so much discussion about this, is because, like I said, the jury doesn't have to vote for anybody. It's up to the players to convince the jury that they played the best game.
I think that Russell was a little too cocky and very
he
sexist.
was.
I liked it. I liked it, but that's why people don't like it.
Yeah, because he was like, "Hey, I'm going to make it to the end." Like he was very cocksure. Like, I mean, he was just like, "Yeah, I know how to." Because he was like a fan of Survivor. He was like, "Oh, I know how to do this." He's like, I can get to the end.
Yeah,
And then he did. But the thing is,
his opening quote was, "I'm only here to show people how easy it is doing this game."
Right, but like the thing is he basically did. He was the fan favorite, so he won like $250,000, right?
100,000.
100,000.
But still, that's like a fuck ton of money.
He won it twice in Heroes
Twice,
vs. Villains, so
yeah.
200,000.
So like, I mean, even then, he still did exactly what he set out to do. He made it to the final two, and that's what I'm saying is like, do you think Russell would have won his season if instead of it being just like, oh, I didn't like that guy, he was mean to me, I don't want him to win? Do you think he would
If
have
the
won?
Mexican chick wasn't there, he would have won, I think.
Is it really important who
I don't
you
know.
bring to the end? Like, is that what the most important thing of Survivor is? Is like what team member you say? Because I think there was a season I remember where it was like this dude set out to like pick someone that he could win against in the jury. He was like, I'm taking her to the, or him to the end, or her to the end, because like I know for a fact that if I make it to the end of this show, they're going to vote for me because fuck this guy or fuck this girl or whatever.
It's called the GOAT strategy. Take someone
GOAT
who's
strategy.
automatically going to lose.
Yeah.
That's what Boston Rob did. That's what Russell tried to do,
Carry-
except
yeah.
they voted for the GOAT.
Carry the GOAT strat, like as a GOAT, not as in greatest of all time, but like GOAT
like
as in like an
animal.
animal.
Yep.
Or like Goatsy.
Oh boy.
Or like that.
Hey, welcome to a meme from fucking 10 years ago.
Hey, that impacted my life a lot.
It fucked me up too. Bane's mask from Dark Knight Rises is exactly Goatsy.
And the Giver.
And what?
The Giver.
What the fuck is that?
Oh, I went with Goatsy. This dude was a giant cock. That would
Great.
stretch your asshole out.
Great, I appreciate you.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of,
Sure.
they now have to check people's assholes on Survivor.
what? Really?
Last time Richard Hatch went on,
Who's
they
Richard Hatch?
suspected Hatch. He's the gay guy from the first season, walking around naked. That one.
Okay.
They suspected he snuck on a little vial full of matches in his asshole.
Really? What about
Remember that
that
one?
dude that snuck in beef jerky?
Was that? Yeah, I remember that
Like
controversy.
season 3? He was like, he just had it in his
Yeah.
bag, and like he was like the camera goes up to him like, hey, what are you eating? He's like, I'm not eating beef jerky, and it's like that was like a huge thing. Early Survivor was like some dude snuck on like real ass food onto
Yeah,
Survivor, which
'cause
like defeats
The guy
point.
who did that in the military, he was taught how to like stitch beef jerky into his clothes so he could like eat it on.
Really?
you know, whatever
That guy didn't seem
military
like he was
thing
in the
he did.
military. He had like
He was
like
military.
Like he had like crazy flowy hair, and he looked like a crazy person. Really?
No, you're thinking of the wrong guy. The guy who snuck on the beef jerky was totally military.
Oh, was he? Okay. Well, then I'm thinking of like
Yeah.
that dude who was like a total fucking dick with the curly like white hair. And he
What
was
season you thinking of?
dude, you guys are the fucking guys. That's why I got you guys on here.
I
I'm
hope you're
just-
not talking about one of the best players ever,
Which
Johnny
guy?
Fairplay.
What? Best
Johnny
player ever?
Fairplay.
Yeah, Johnny Fairplay. That's who I'm talking about. Johnny fucking Fairplay.
One
Yeah.
of the best
Some-
players in the game.
I fucking love Johnny Fairplay. Fuck that guy. He was an asshole.
Except for the second time he came back and like cried in a moo-moo. It was super depressing.
Oh boy, Jesus. So like, I mean, this show is an emotional roller coaster for the people who watch it. What is the main thing that has kept you coming back every season?
Well, my mom has horrible taste in TV shows. But
Very
back
true.
in-
I know your mom, and
Yeah,
she
your grandma.
does.
Uh,
Shout out to Mima. Love you.
hopefully she'll never watch this like the
No,
rest of the family.
hopefully not, because I opened with like a 6-minute bit about my asshole, so that's not good.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna go into like an uncle joke with that, but I'm glad you went to different routes.
Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, it's
but
good.
I really liked Survivor. It was one of the shows I could watch with my mom. We could actually bond over it,
Yeah.
which was tough back in the day. But I don't know. I really like the social game, like the social hacking or whatever.
Dude, I
show.
always wanted you to be on Survivor. I thought you would be like the best fucking candidate for Survivor ever. Just social
I
game.
had some great ideas for like my my audition tape.
Yeah, I know you did, dude. Dude, fucking share some of that shit because I was gonna fucking talk about it already. Like, dude, tell us what your audition tape was because I wanted you to be on this show.
One of the ideas was I was gonna show how wildernessy I was, and I was gonna like grab a fish out of the water. With my bare hands,
yeah,
and cut it open and pull out like hot dogs or something, and just eat those.
Yes.
I think that was about it. Yeah,
because like you would be a social player. Like, I mean, you're funny, you're likable, and that's and that's like where you would be successful. I mean, obviously you're a fat fuck, so you wouldn't be good at the physical challenges.
Well, yeah, I've definitely gone downhill as far as my body goes, but my mentalness is definitely dulled down as well. So, and I'm married, so I can't really like use my sexual prowess to hit on girls or anything. Which one of my dreams? One of my dreams is to go on Survivor and get a girl pregnant during the season.
Yes! Yes! She has to get medevac because she's fucking hella pregnant. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'd definitely be worthless now, but man, it would be fun to go out there.
Oh, my God.
Well, can I bring like my pals and medication with me or like Xanax or anything? Otherwise, I can't go on the show.
I think you would be able to do like mental challenges. They're like, hey, Will, you're going to do the puzzle. And you're like, I can't do that. But like, I'll give it a shot. You know?
So I'm not really physical, but when it comes to the mental stuff, I can't really do puzzles. So,
you just can't do anything.
Yeah, like,
and either people think I'm like super funny, or they fucking want to slit my throat. So there's like a really thin line where my social game would just fall apart. So I'd be left with. I'd probably be a goat, and then like at the end, I'd just say some like super sad story and try to win it that way.
Yeah, like, oh, my mom has cancer, and
my wife has cancer.
Yeah,
and
my wife. Yeah, look at a picture of her. She's like bald as fuck.
Ouch.
And, you know, it's like, I'm just here to, like, try and pay for her medical bills. And I try to laugh to get through the pain.
There's a lot of pain.
It's so good. I've always thought that you'd just be like the quintessential fucking social player where it's like, dude, I mean, your laugh is just perfect. Like, I'm surprised. Like, I'm wondering if you're, like, backing away from the mic when you've been laughing during this podcast because it's like, holy shit.
I'll lean into it next time.
Yes, please shatter my fucking computer with how loud your laugh is. But it's like, it's just perfect. And I appreciate the fact that there's a social game. I really do, because when you're not doing challenges, that's what you're watching. You're watching the social game, and you fall in love with characters based on how they interact with other characters. Like, oh fuck, I wrote that. What's that fucking hippie's name? That Rupert. That like, that like dug their base below water level, and it like got flooded, and like it's just like, holy shit, dude! Like, how did you think that was a good idea?
I fell in love with it.
Like, I remember the episode so well because like it starts storming, and
that's
like
one of the best episodes.
It's so good, and like the waves are coming in, and everyone's just like looking at the fucking house that they have, and it's just like 6 feet fucking deep in water, and it's just like, wow, like Solid, dude. Thanks.
What made it even better was he built the base, but that was for a shelter building competition challenge. So when like the judge came up to review the base, he started laughing at it. He's like, that's gonna get washed away like today. And they got last place because it was so bad.
That's fucking awesome. Like, yeah, like Rupert, like, you know, you really fall in love. I think that's probably one of the things that brings people back is you really fall in love with the characters that are in this game because they're people. They're real people. Like you and I mean, any one of us could technically get on Survivor. I mean, am I from the military? No. Do I have somebody who has cancer in my family? No.
Maybe.
Could I lie about it and say that Heather has cancer? Absolutely. But it's like their antics, like Johnny Fairplay, Boston Rob, who was just like, you know, a sweetheart and you fell in love with him.
Boston Rob was conniving. I'm not sure why. I think maybe the accent or something, but he came off really...
I thought like his main thing was like everybody loved him because he was just like such a sweetheart. Like he was like handsome. The thing is he was handsome, and he was.
Was he?
When he gets in front of a camera, he's just really good. He just like smiles, cracks a joke in front of the camera, and you're just like, wow, like that guy's good at what he does.
Right. So it's like, you know, you go gay for Boston Rob and, you know, you like him. And then, you know, Russell comes in and he changes. Okay. So I think that, I liked Russell. Russell's probably one of my favorite characters that's ever been in Survivor. And I think it's because, in my opinion, he changed the way the game is played because he came in saying, I'm going to win. I know what Survivor's all about, and he found a bunch of idols without clues. I think like the third thing is the most important, is that he was just like, I'm just gonna find idols, and it was like it challenged the producers to change things up, and it really made it sort of this like, holy shit, you can literally like abuse the way the game is set up because there's this system in place, and if you just like know what you're doing, you can beat it. You don't need a clue. Like, you don't need to beat a challenge and get a clue. You can just like walk out and find something. And he did it twice. And that's why like he's like my favorite character ever. Is sure he felt like he had the biggest dick that's ever been.
Wasn't it 6 times that season?
6 times? Really?
Yeah, he broke. I think he has like the record still to this day
for finding idols.
Yeah.
In Samoa, I think he found 3. Then in Heroes vs. Villains, he may have found 2 or 3. So I think he has like the all-time record for most.
Holy shit!
It was
idols
a lot.
Found. Yeah, it was a lot.
I like that part of the finding the idols too. That was always really exciting.
I just loved it.
Someone definitely got fired that season though, for sure.
Who? What? Oh, somebody got fired?
Yeah,
for sure.
Made him so easy to find.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like, oh, I mean, of course it's under the bridge, and he just fucking pulls it out. Like, of course it's in the hole in the tree, and he fucking grabs it, and it's fucking over. I mean, but that was like so I watched that live. Like, that was when I was still watching the show every week. And I was like, dude, I fucking love Russell. And because he's changing the way the game is played. He's playing mostly a social game, but what he's doing is he's like abusing the information that he has in the Survivor mythos. And it's like he has an idea of where things would be, and he just goes, yeah, man, it's right there. And he just takes it. And then he plays the social game where people don't think, like, there's no way he has an idol. And he goes, beep, idol. And then he does it again, beep, idol.
Yeah.
And then he just, like, keeps doing it. And, like, everyone's faces are just like, what? How the fuck is this happening? Like, I've got all the clues, and I couldn't find it. I mean, how are you still doing this? And everyone's just like, minds just explodes because he's playing such a good game. And I think that the mental, the social, and the physical, those are the three pillars of Survivor. And that's why I think that they should occasionally switch it up and do a physical challenge.
So when I first watched Samoa, I wasn't watching it thinking like, oh, this guy's changing the way the game's playing. It was more like he's just doing things that nobody else had done before.
Right.
So when he just like whipped an idol out of the tree during episode 2, I was like, damn, like this guy's something else. And then he like goes off and makes an alliance with every single person on the tribe. Then he starts lying that his dog died in Hurricane Katrina.
Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! I'm remembering that. Holy shit. Dude, he played the hardest social game anyone's ever played. I totally forgot about it. Didn't he say like his fucking grandma died too or whatever? His fucking dog died.
That was Johnny Gerber.
I'm totally remembering that shit. He was like, oh yeah, dude, I was in Hurricane Katrina and my dog died. And then it cuts to him talking to the camera crew and it's like, oh no, dude, none of that happened. I'm just like playing the game.
Dog.
That's why his third time he came on the show, he was voted off first.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he shouldn't have been on that many times. I mean, heroes versus villains, perfect. I mean, because it was like, that was the concept. It was like, the people we like, people we don't. But you know how he plays the game. So, of course, he's going to get voted out right away. I mean, he didn't stand a chance. Because it's like, he's not going to play it any differently. He's going to play it the same fucking way. Meatball. Nice.
If that didn't ruin his legacy, his nephew or cousin would ever come on the show ruined it for him, for sure.
And then even more so, like 8 years later after Samoa, he went back on to Australian Survivor, the foreign version. Then he also got like voted out first because he played the same exact way.
Good for him.
So, all right, let's talk about. We've talked about. I mean, we literally like. I think it's been 47 minutes, and basically we've talked about Russell.
Russell.
Hey, he's my favorite character.
I guess to talk about him more and to expand on that, it's like if you look at it, the things that he did in Samoa, they weren't, I guess you could say, respected at the time. Because if you look at like the gameplay of Samoa versus like the gameplay of Survivor in 2019, like everything that he did in Samoa is basically expected that somebody should do at this point. Like,
now,
if
what
you're
do you
not,
mean by that?
like, if you're not going out there randomly looking for idols without clues, like you're stupid because they're obviously out there, and you need to do that.
Right.
If you make it to the final tribal council and you don't have 2 or 3 blind sides under your belt, you're dead and you're not going to win.
Really? I mean, that makes sense though, because he was someone who went into the game saying, I know how to play this game. And the fact that this show has been on for, you said, Will, you said 2000. So it's been on
technically since 2019.
So, wait. What? It's been on for 20 years, right? It started in 2000?
Yeah, so that's actually 19 years.
So 20 years this show has been on the air. If you manage to get on the show without ever having seen at least the best seasons in the show, you do deserve to leave. Because it's reached the point where Survivor is meta, where you know what Russell did. And you're right. Like, I mean, like you just said, like if you don't go out and randomly search for shit, you're an idiot. Because you can find something. If you don't lie and cheat your way through groups of people, you're an idiot. Like, you need to play it that way. So I appreciate that. That's something like that Survivor can do. Is it's one of these. It's not like Price is Right, which has been on for like triple the amount of time that fucking Survivor has been on. But like, if you watch Survivor, you can get an understanding of the way that Survivor plays out. And that gives you an advantage. Or, I mean, everyone might have that advantage, but it's like the way that you analyze what you're seeing, the way that you interpret the behavior of characters, the winners, the losers, and what you see on a weekly basis, that can change the way that you play. And you should play the way that you think is just like the sort of culmination. I think that's a real word. The culmination of every season and their winners should be the way that you play in Survivor nowadays.
For me, like day 2 out there, you don't want to be the first person caught looking for an idol. You just don't.
Sure,
Even if they
absolutely.
know someone looking for an idol, that person's fucked. Whether they find the idol or not, they're the next person being voted out.
Right.
It's
So
like
the
mob
idol's a
mentality.
fucking waste. Either way.
So, my dream's always been, which it may have been done before, is day 2 or 3, find someone, put it in their head that they should find the idol, wait for them to walk out,
Oh.
tell the rest of the tribe, so then that person's fucked.
So say, dude, you should go look for an idol. I mean, Russell did it. You should go do it. And then tell everyone else, dude, I saw this dude looking for idols. And that
Exactly.
guy's just like, everyone in the crew is just like, fuck that guy. He's a betrayer. And then he just gets eliminated. I mean, that's a great way to eliminate day 1. So let's go, if you two were on Survivor, if you were in the show, what would be your strategy to get to the end?
I guess I'll go first. I would just
Sure.
basically try to minimize. I don't want to sound like fucking. What am I going to say? Like I'm a huge threat, but I don't want to say I'm a huge threat. But I would basically try to minimize like what I'm doing and just try to be everybody's friend.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if you go out there and you're playing
Friendly.
balls to the wall, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Look, get a load of this guy. Let's just vote him out." Or if you're kicking ass in the challenges, they'll just vote you out too. So, because
Right, so that was something that always bothered me too, is like someone who excels at challenges. I've actually seen that in seasons where someone who's like super good in challenges
Yep.
will get eliminated during the vote. It's like, hey, I know we've been at Tribal Council like 3 times in a row, and you were one of the main people trying to stop us from being at Tribal Council. But you're too physical. We're gonna eliminate you. And it's
Yeah,
like,
if we get
that's
the merge.
fucking wild.
Yeah, if you make it to the merge, the physical people win. You don't want that.
What do you mean by that?
What I'm-
Well, because when it becomes one tribe, the physical people are the winners, right? In the
Well,
challenges, because it's all
there's only
individual.
one winner.
After the merge,
Yeah,
it's
they-
individual.
immunity your way to the end.
Yeah,
Which people do and get eliminated, like, right before the final. But
right. That's
They
why
do
it should
pretty
be
well.
all physical-based challenges right up until the end, until the winner is chosen.
One of my favorite players ever, Tom Westman. He kicks so much ass in the tribal challenges that his tribe went undefeated. So his tribe won 8 challenges in a row. Then once the merge happened, he went 5 for 7 in individual challenges, and he won the game.
Shit. Really?
So he was only at risk of getting voted out like twice in the entire season. During like all 14 tribal councils, he could get his name written down twice.
was he the
Holy
guy who tried catching the shark?
He caught the shark. He just jumped in the ocean, whacked it with a machete, and he ran back in.
Yeah, he
Some
was
dude just
savage.
fucking hacked a fucking shark with a machete and
Yeah.
he fucking won the game?
Nearly chopped it in half, and then he dragged it back onto shore, and then he chopped the head off and cooked it up.
What? So, just some like fucking turbo Chad. Tell me more about this because I've never heard about this. What the fuck happened? Some dude comes on and he just chads all over people and he fucking
Yeah,
manages
so-
not to get voted out?
What was
So,
his name again?
Tom Westman. He was like a 40-year-old, middle-aged New York City firefighter with gray hair. He's
he was savage, dude.
Yeah, he's basically like a Chad dad, and he got onto the show, and then he just beast modes all the challenges, beats all the bodybuilder young men on the opposite tribe. Just beast modes every single challenge. There was one challenge where there's basically a giant oval inside the ocean, and it was each tribe started on opposite ends, and they just had to run around the circle until they caught the other tribe. And since he's a firefighter, he's used to like having a ton of weight on him and just running for long periods of time. So he just basically grabbed like most of the people's backpacks and just started running with two other tribe members and just basically single-handedly won that challenge for them.
Yeah, so they were like, "Well, fuck, we need to keep." That's one of the things that like bothers me though. Is like if you perform too well in a challenge, they're like, "Oh, well, he's a threat. We need to get rid of him." And I've seen that in so many seasons where it's like this person who is winning our challenges and like stopping us from going to tribal council is too good. And then when they eventually get to tribal council, because like some other fuckface lost them the challenge, which that person should be voted off. When that person loses and they go to tribal council, and then the winner, that fucking winner gets voted off, who's been keeping them from fucking losing every other challenge, that bothers the fuck out of me. It's
it
like,
happens
dude,
like every season.
That's what happens.
They're
I
like,
know,
oh,
but
hey,
it's bullshit.
know,
It's like it's so like. Do you have to try to be like just okay at every challenge because you don't want to be a threat? Like that just seems like so uncool to me.
It depends on your season. Like you could have a bunch of people who like really respect it, or you could have people who are like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I tripped and fell 40 times during the challenge and we lost." But if that guy makes it to the merge, he's gonna fucking win because he's like attractive and fit. They're like, you know what, shitty person, you're correct. Let's vote him out. Ruin his life.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah. So in Palau, like I was saying, the tribe that Tom was on, if you just look side by side, his tribe was super weak because the other tribe was just like bodybuilder, six pack, beefcake meatheads. So every time his tribe was doing a challenge, they were like, "Well, we need Tom because he's like the only guy we got here."
Right. And then when they hit the merge, it was like, well, we got to get rid of Tom because it's like
he didn't give them a chance to get rid of him.
Tom was definitely like a Gray Fox power top because older guy. Yeah, he dominated.
Really? So like he managed to, because it's like, so you excel. Say you excel when it's two teams, and then you make it to the merge, and then someone is going to say, hey, he beat your guys' ass like 30 times. We need to eliminate him. So how is it that he just kept winning challenges? Is that's what happened? He just like didn't stop fucking winning?
To walk you through basically the whole season, once the merge hits, the last person remaining on the tribe that he destroyed came over.
Right.
So then he won 2 more challenges and that person was still in the game. So the one challenge that he lost, everyone was basically like, well, we need to get rid of this person because they just survived their entire tribe and now they're just going to try to survive our entire tribe and they're a huge threat.
Right.
So they considered her a bigger threat than Tom, so they voted her out.
That's luck. That's pure fucking luck because it was me. I'm like, dude, Tom's fucking kicking ass. Like, we got to get fucking rid of him, dude.
I think he had what?
Didn't Tom have an idol, though?
No, it was a season before Idols.
Oh.
He found an idol in Heroes vs. Villains. And
wait, there were seasons before, like, there were hidden immunity idols?
Yeah.
What season was that?
Oh, my God, dude.
Everything pre-season 11 Guatemala, there were not hidden immunity
There's always been idols.
Dude, this is what I'm talking about. It's like Mike has thoroughly and autistically watched every fucking episode of Survivor. This is why Mike needs to be on it.
But a funny story, a lot of people say that
tell me the
Russell,
funny story.
People always say Russell is the first person to find an idol without a clue, when technically in season 11, the first guy to ever find an immunity idol found it because somebody else found the clue to the idol, and he went back to the tribe and said, "Hey, this clue says that the idol is by far on the ground."
Mm-hmm.
So everyone was like, "Okay, the idol's on the ground." So then this other guy, Gary Hogabim, goes around the jungle and he sees the guy who told them the clue looking up in the sky in the trees.
Yeah.
So he was like, "That guy's totally lying. I'm going to be looking up in the sky now." So then he found the idol like that because the other guy was just so stupid, and he told everybody a lie and didn't.
Interesting.
Look at the ground.
I'm sorry, Mike. Are you looking this stuff up, or do you remember?
No.
This fucking...
I remember it.
Holy shit!
I have
That's what I'm
most
saying,
of the seasons
dude.
on DVD.
Yeah, dude.
I thought I was a super fan, but holy shit!
No,
feel
you're not,
like
dude.
right now.
Dude, while you were figuring out your fucking audio problems, me and Mike talked about the fact that he listens to fucking Survivor podcasts.
No way.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I mean, he's a Survivor fan. Like he just likes Survivor. Dude,
I think
Mike,
podcasts are stupid.
have
though.
you? Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm just gonna not air this one. It feels so good. Dude, Mike, have you ever considered actually getting on Survivor? Like honestly, have you ever thought I should try to get on Survivor?
Yeah, maybe if I drop 20 pounds, I would apply.
What does Mike look like?
Normal.
Okay.
It's just you could advertise yourself. I mean, you're physically fit. I mean, dude, you won the
PE Student of the Year.
PE Student of the fucking Year. Exactly. Exactly, dude. So clearly, you spend time at the gym, and you know the deeper aspects of Survivor, which are the social game. And I think you're a pretty likable dude. So it's I think you could honestly get on Survivor. You could
I'll even
do
give
it.
you my idea for the audition tape.
Yeah, dude. Why don't you do a joke audition tape, get yourself in there, and then show up people physically, mentally, and socially, and then fucking you win $1 million, and I get 10,000 of that shit. I get 10 grand.
I can give you the 10K for stealing your audition tape idea.
Yeah.
Done.
Boom.
Do it.
Boom.
Let's meet up some weekend and then do the tape.
Boom. Boom. My uncle wants to film you naked in the forest. It's not weird, okay? He's tried to do it with me. That's what uncles and nephews do.
Oh.
They film each other naked, right? Right?
Sorry, Mom.
Cannot confirm.
So, okay.
I think my biggest problem would be I find it hard to get along with new people that I don't know.
Right. Oh,
So I think
sure.
I'd get voted out early.
Right. No, but it's all you got to do, because I feel the same way. I don't get along with people. Any new job that I have, for the most part, people think I'm an asshole. And that's fair, because even my family thinks I'm an asshole. So, I mean, clearly I'm an asshole. But it's if you just go, oh, I need to focus on liking people or making people think that I like them, you just play the mental game. It's just more mental. All you got to do is oh, I got to change my personality for this game, and then just play the mental game of oh, hey, buddy, fucking suck their dicks. You know what I mean? It's
Well,
it's no big
the
deal.
card the card you have to keep in your pocket, if you realize someone's starting not to like you, just play the religion card and you're back in.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, there's often a lot of weird people on the show, or
Right.
off-putting people.
Uh-huh.
But as soon as they talk about oh, they're very religious, they're right back into being okay again.
Interesting. You're hey, I'm Mormon. I am
Well, no,
Mormon.
I wouldn't say that. I think Christians the main thing.
Oh, right. Mormons would definitely get voted out.
Yeah.
Fucking oh, dude, you believe a dude looked into a hat and some gold plates and that's what your religion is, yeah, dude, you definitely get voted out for sure.
But
Don't
if you're
ever
like,
say
oh,
you're a
that-
Mormon, because
that
also
might-
people think about like the group sex Mormons, like the super sick
The
like
10 plus
traditional-
wives
Yeah,
Mormon?
dude, like the fucking I bang 9 chicks a night Mormons.
You
And,
don't need
like,
any money.
Definitely, they would not want you to be on the show. I would definitely say I am a Christian. I don't believe in the gays. Would be a way to go. If you don't go that way, you're fucked. Yeah, for
Well,
sure.
I probably wouldn't slam gays.
Oh, okay, sure.
But
What would
maybe
you
like
slam?
just like, oh,
Would
that
you
my
slam-
guy's
I mean, you
down.
got to slam somebody. I mean, they're gonna slam somebody. Like, who
Well, you
would you
gotta-
slam?
Slam non-Christians, I guess.
The girl he wants to get pregnant on the show.
Slam or puss.
Slam her puss. Holy shit.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry, mom.
Sorry, Mom. Dude, I don't think Mima watches this shit, dude.
No one does. It's fine.
Ouch. But no, but you're right. I mean, it's okay. I mean, you gotta start somewhere. Which is zero. Nobody.
Did you like that text, by the way?
Which text?
Oh, I just sent you a text being like, "Fuck, what's that other guy's name?" Is it
Yeah,
Mike?
no, I just
Yeah.
responded because I just saw it. Mike,
Thank
you
you.
forgot what your fucking name was. That's okay.
That's fine.
That's fine. So I have a least favorite season. Like I have a season where I watch it and I'm just like, oh, this is the worst season ever. Do you guys have a season like that?
I'm sure he can correct me on what season it was, but there was
Oh,
like
boy.
this dragon guy. He was like a dragon soccer
The
player.
Dragon Slayer.
The Dragon Slayer, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
He was such a terrible character. Oh, and the FBI guy was nuts to
What?
watch.
Okay.
Like every once in a
what
while, they
is
sneak in
this?
crazy people.
What is this season? Mike, what
like-
season is it?
You ever had like a
Us.
homeless people walk up to you on the
Yeah.
street and they're like talking about like dragon slaying?
Yeah,
or the
yeah,
FBI?
yeah, for sure.
Somehow a couple of these people have snuck onto the show over time, and it's
Yeah.
super awkward. Go ahead, Mike.
He's talking about a guy named Coach. He nicknamed himself the Dragon Slayer on Token Sheens because
What the
He
fuck is
nicked-
Token Sheens?
it's the place in Brazil.
What?
Token Sheens, a place in Brazil. I don't know if it's a country. I don't look that shit
Wait.
up. But
Token
I
Sheens.
like how Nick doesn't know shit about Survivor.
No, I don't. Wait. What is Token Sheens? Yeah, I hear somebody click-clacking away. Fucking... I don't know what the fuck is Token Sheens. Like, it just seems like a made-up thing. I don't know.
I'll send you a picture of Google Maps. Okay.
Yeah. Are you doing over Discord?
Yep.
Okay.
It's that red state. You see that state, country? I don't know. It's in Brazil.
It's a real fucking place.
Yep.
Okay. All right, it's a place, sure.
But anyway,
All right. Token Sheens.
Token Sheens.
Yeah, there's this guy named Coach, and he
Fuck.
nicknamed somebody else a dragon, and he voted him out. So he was like, "I guess that makes me the Dragon Slayer." So then that's what he went from. From there on out, he was the Dragon Slayer. He got a Dragon Slayer cane, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, one of the greatest characters on the show.
Oh, what a great. Okay.
How do you spell Token Sheens?
Derailed.
TOCANTINS.
Oh, fuck. Holy shit. I spelled it. Let me just, hold on. Here, let me
You
pull
spelled it TOKEN.
No, Will, you're fucking right on the money. Holy shit. I literally got 0 results on Google.
Okay.
Let me see. Hold on.
I-
I spelled it TOKENSC.
So I pronounce it like-
SHIENES. Token Sheens.
I pronounce it like Jeff Probst would pronounce it. I guess it's called Token Teens.
Oh,
TOCANTINS.
I'm not looking that shit up. That's too much fucking
Yeah.
bullshit. So,
Can you use Sims?
Is it Token
Tins.
Cienas? Token Cienas. So my least. Will, what's your least favorite season? Before I get into my bullshit.
Well, like I said,
I don't know a goddamn fucking thing about Survivor. So
I'm not going to remember the seasons really. I just concentrate on the people. There was
right.
the Dragon Slayer. There
Right.
was the cell phone made out of wood guy.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yeah.
Blackberry.
Yeah.
The Blackberry made out of fucking wood guy. That was like season 3, right? That was like super early, right?
Mhm.
Where it was like, he's like, oh, dude, I can't be away from my cell phone. And he like literally goes crazy and he just like makes a cell phone out of wood. That was fucking cool. My least favorite season was the Africa season because it was just like, I think it might have been old versus young. I don't remember. But it was like the most boring fucking season ever. It had like...
Because everyone's dying.
It had like that old teacher, the other old teacher, like 2 more old teachers, and then like nobody was able to do anything. And like Jess and I were watching this shit, and we were just like, wow. Fuck this. And we just like watched a different season. We got like 3 episodes in. We were like, okay, it's gonna be great. We're ready to go. And then we get into it and it's just like, wow, this is fucking horrible. So that leads me to a lot of the seasons have a gimmick. That's the idea is why don't we come out with a gimmick for this season? What do you think about that? And what do you think are the best and worst gimmicks of Survivor? And what had like a lasting effect? Like did like an idea that failed have a lasting effect? Did it have a good idea that had a lasting effect? Tell me about the gimmicks of Survivor that really affected you as a Survivor watcher and affected the show as Survivor fans.
They've done it a lot. I really like the Exile Island stuff.
Oh, I loved Exile Island. I thought it was great. Oh, shit. The first season with Exile Island was fucking cool. Somebody goes to Exile Island. They get a cool clue. They can find a fucking immunity idol. I like that. I did like that. I like that.
Great.
Great.
I'm trying.
Great. Great.
They've actually brought it back a lot. Even this season. I'm only 2 episodes into the new season, so don't spoil it for me, please.
Hey, Mike, what's the end of the new season?
No, they're on episode 3 right now, and I haven't seen it.
Hey, Mike,
That's all I'm saying.
What's the episode?
Don't talk about it.
I'm not gonna spoil it. Come on, I'm nice. Come on.
Come on.
But they have Exile Island essentially again, where like
Did they
when
get
you
rid of
lose-
that?
Well, it's come back like 4 or 5 times.
Right. I remember it
But-
being like in the seasons I liked. I remember Exile Island being a thing. In the seasons that I liked, it was something that was in those seasons because I just thought it was a cool idea. Like the person who like every time you lose, you have to pick somebody or win. You have to pick somebody that gets exiled instead of like gets the reward. Brutal.
Oh, there's that one too. But this one they're doing right now is like the person who gets voted off. You
Right.
walk off stage and you get like this choice. You can either go home and be a bitch, or you can
Wow.
go to this island and there's like nothing there.
Right.
This person who got there first, they're like, what the fuck? There's like no fire, no food, nothing. And they're just like wrapped up in like a shipwreck on the sand, just like talking to themselves for days.
Wait, so how does that work? Like you get to choose the choice, but how do you get back in the show? Do you have to like
Oh,
survive?
They haven't explained it yet.
Oh, really?
And where they left off the second episode, the person was being like, "Oh, I'm a bitch. I don't know if I want to go on. I'm gonna leave."
Yeah.
And other person all by themselves on the island, they're like, "Fuck, I've been here for like, 3 or 4 days. No one else has come. I'm going nuts."
So if more people, I'm thinking that if the more people that get voted out and choose to go to exile, they create their own team, and then at the end, it's like, hey, here's the new team versus this team versus the Exile team, and then some cool shit happens. That sounds cool. It could be cool if they make this right. It could be cool. That sounds cool. I think it sounds.
Yeah, people were freaking out because of this twist because people were theorizing, oh well, somebody's going to come back in the game, so somebody could theoretically be there for 37 days and then come back during the final four, win the fire making challenge, get to the end, and win.
Right, despite already being voted out.
Yeah. Because
Cool.
people don't know when they're going to come back.
Right, and nobody knows how it's going to affect the game. Like, is it going to be like a team versus team challenge, or is it going to be
Yeah,
a
so if you look
merger?
at it as only one person's coming back, and that person that comes back by how this twist is set up has spent the entire time out there with the jury members, having also been voted out. So theoretically, when they come back and make it to the end, they're all buddy with the jury because they didn't do anything really to vote them out.
Right.
I assume it's going to be they're going to do like they usually do a mid-season merge.
Right.
They might wait a little bit longer and then do like kind of a later merge, and then
That's
they
what
bring
I was
like
thinking.
3 or 4 people back.
Yeah.
Like, as someone who hasn't seen it, I'm thinking it's going to be a merge between the Exilers and fuck off as the Exilers and the normal people.
I'm going to make a podcast about it.
Dude, well, that's the thing is I brought on 2 experts, and then it's just me as the host, fuckface. Okay, I am the audience. Okay, I am the people who don't understand Survivor as much as you two do.
Well,
You two are the
let's help
experts, and you educate me and the audience on Survivor. So that was my spiel. That was my idea. So you can fuck off because I
Let's just hope
planned
that
this from the beginning. You shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
Let's hope
I will
that
cut
if
out
you want-
all of
Yeah,
your
let's hope
audio.
I'm going to fucking get it out.
What?
That someone wanting to learn about Survivor doesn't stumble upon this podcast first.
I hope someone who wants to learn about Survivor stumbles on this podcast.
That
Because
would
you know
be
what?
pretty cool, though.
Yeah, and they stumble upon the podcast and they have to listen to you like wiping your ass for 6 minutes straight before they can get to it.
Hey, that's rock solid humor. Okay? If they aren't okay with ass humor, it didn't turn out to me getting butt raped by my uncle, okay, which has happened. Okay? It was just poop humor. It's okay. I mean, it's just that's just me, man. That's just the podcast. I have been planning because that literally happened. That is 100% truth, and I was like, oh man, that's just like perfect for this Survivor episode that I'm doing. Like
The molesting or the poop?
the poop, not the molesting.
Oh.
Molesting's never okay. I'm scarred. Let's just end it now. Let's just end the podcast now. On the molesting or the shit. The molesting's not okay.
Thanks for joining in.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. So
Blood versus water was a pretty good gimmick.
blood versus water. Oh, family, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
What was
Especially because
that?
one chick voted out her mom, which was fucking brutal.
Holy shit! Really?
And she didn't win, right?
Oh,
She didn't win.
ooh. So wait, so what is this blood versus water gimmick? Is it like one team is like all people?
So-
and the
Everybody
second
comes
team
in
is all
pairs.
family members of the first team. Is that what it is?
Everyone came in pairs with like a family member.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
And they get split off into different tribes.
Ooh, brutal. That sounds horrible. Oh, that sounds hard, dude. Could
But you got-
you vote out like your family member? And he's like, they wouldn't
mean,
like
like,
you. I mean,
I-
could you do it?
I could, but I don't see a single reason why you would.
Right,
that
'cause
makes
you got
sense.
one extra vote on your side all the time because you're a family member.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've personally voted out many of my family members in real life. So I don't think doing it on the show would be that hard.
fair enough,
Like,
but
show
you're an
with your mom or
asshole,
something?
so it's like that's all right.
Go on the show with your mom. I just try everything I could to get her voted off.
So like you're an asshole. Why'd you get me voted off? Just like literally go into the show like, oh, I'm definitely gonna vote. Like if me and you went onto the show as a pair, it'd be like, oh, I'm gonna fucking get Nick voted off in the first week for sure. Like, oh, did you know he fucking touches little boys like Michael Jackson? And it's just like everyone's just like, oh my god, really? And then like I get voted off fucking day one. Like they pulled me out of the show behind the scenes, so I got like injured or something, and then like fucking I'm eliminated from the show because like you literally spread a rumor day one. Like, did you know he touches little boys and like looks at their buttholes and stuff? And it's just like, holy shit, didn't see that coming. And it's just like it makes you look good because you're just like telling the truth about this fucking child molester or whatever.
I imagine no one would really hear our story on the show because they probably have to edit out like 89% of the conversations.
Hey, fuck that guy. Like he's an asshole. Like,
Minorities.
boop, 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 boop. Just fucking boops all day because it's on fucking CBS. Jesus.
Can you please stop making Will laugh? None of us can fucking sleep.
It's 11. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. Can you please stop fucking making Will laugh? It's ruining the show.
And obviously, I couldn't air your jokes. Be like, bop, like halfway through the night. Honestly.
I mean, obviously. And that's just like part of the fun. Like I've always thought, like, could I get on Survivor? And
You could.
Probably could.
They love millennials.
I'm not like super physically fit. I mean, I look like the dude who plays Thor. I mean, that's like exactly what I look like. Like
What?
I got like a 6-pack, beard,
Oh, we're
lightning
joking.
powers.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I'm trying to attract women to the podcast. What's that dude's name? Fucking Thor?
Thor, I
Chris
don't know.
Hemsworth?
Chris Hemsworth. Yeah, I look exactly like Chris Hemsworth. And my voice is exactly like his too. Whatever. But I always felt like if I got on Survivor, I would lack like one of the major elements that it takes to survive. Like
Common sense.
Like common sense. Ouch. Like maybe I could do the physical challenges, but if not the physical, I would fail in the social play. And then, like, I would just get eliminated right away. That was always something that I worried about. But it's like, I think if you have a super strong element in one way, like, I feel like I'm, like, right in the middle. But I feel like...
You don't need all three elements to win.
No, you don't. You're right. I just feel like I'm weak in 2 out of 3. And I feel like you two would be super good because, like, Mike, mental, possibly physical. Fucking Will... social, possibly mental. And it's just like, that's possibly mental, Will, because you're a fucking idiot. And I'm
Would you be able to go on the show with your shirt off? That's one of the things guys
dude, that's like a big thing, right? It's like, dude, I got poofy nipples, dude. And I'm like, I'm not happy with them. And like, I'm like a fat piece of shit. So it's like, I don't think I don't think I'd be able to do it. I don't like me with my shirt off. So I'd probably like one of those like fucking fat kids in middle school that like never goes to the pool without his shirt off. And it's like, well, we're going to eliminate that guy because I've never seen his nipples. And it's just like...
It would stand out. It would be a Reddit subcategory.
Well, you know what? Then what I would do is I would just go naked. Are you allowed to do that still? Or is it against the rules now?
But then,
you can do whatever the hell you want.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not okay with like my poofy fat people nipples, but I would definitely just take all my clothes off and just be like, yeah, dude, this is my penis. Definitely okay with the way that that's hanging out. And
so what you do is just wear a shirt. If your dick's out,
Yeah, there you go. Pooh Bear
okay.
it. Pooh Bear it, bro.
Shit, dude.
Pooh Bear Survivor. Just wear a shirt. Like, dude, if I don't wear pants or underwear and I have my dick and balls flowing free, then I can perform in physical challenges better because I'm just like, my dick and balls are out. And it also psychs out the opponents because they've never seen such a huge penis.
Dude, all I think about you naked is the thing on your back.
Gross.
That big giant like hunchback thing you have.
Oh, I got you, dog. Let's not talk about that. Cool. Yeah, I look like Quasimodo, apparently. So, not
Speaking of going naked, the guy who always went naked, Richard Hatch, he's the only person on the show to sexually harass somebody else off the show.
What?
Was that first season?
No, and he came back for All Stars, and they were doing like a balance beam challenge. So like he was naked on the balance beam, and then somebody else was going like across the same balance beam as him. So he like rubbed up against them to get past them, and they just like felt so grossed out that they quit the next episode.
Holy
God.
shit!
Some
Yeah,
old-
I mean, could you imagine getting some random dude's dick and balls rubbed up against you? That wouldn't be cool. That'd be fucking horrible. I mean, unless you're into that. I mean, hey, go you if you're
just an
into
old
that.
flabby gay guy's dick rubbed against you. I don't know.
That's not my style, you know. I like perky dick and balls
Power to
rubbing
if it
against
is.
me.
But, yeah.
What?
It's okay if it is. There's nothing wrong with that. But
I know. I'm married to a
if you're
woman.
not
with
looking
a-
forward to a flabby cock in your face, I'd probably quit too.
Yeah, I mean, like, what if he fucking like jumped up and like slapped his dick in your head? Like, that'd be fucking horrible, dude. Like, what if he's like trying to hug you and shit? They'd be fucking. I would quit. I mean, what a great way to eliminate opponents. It's just like, what if I make them so uncomfortable that they just quit? You know, I don't got to do a fucking thing. I just got to fucking take my dick and balls out and like get them near them, and they'll just like leave. It's a good strategy. I mean, hey.
So, Mike, how was your season of Survivor? Well, some old guy rubbed his dick and balls in my face,
And I quit.
and I quit.
Oh, I feel so sad for you.
You know, and it's like, and then you get to come back for like heroes versus villains or like all stars or something because it's like everybody
everyone
liked
feels
you,
so sad for me.
everybody liked you, but like,
But then he comes back as a villain for doing that.
yeah, there you go. Because it's like, and then you get dick and balls rubbed up against you again, you know, and then you just like quit for the second time. Oh
What?
shit!
Summarize your Survivor experience.
Dick and
changing the
balls on my
subject
body.
off sexual harassment. Like
Sure.
you said, like you wouldn't excel in one area. Well,
Right.
I watched like a foreign version of Survivor last year for Survivor South Africa, and a guy
Weird.
won the show. Yeah, a guy won the show by like quite literally using the "I was just pretending to be retarded" strategy.
What?
No way.
Yeah, a guy made it all the way to the end, and he was like causing fights with everybody and just being a huge like ass to everybody, and everyone was like, I'm totally going to take that guy to the end because no one's going to vote for him. So he made it to the end, and then the person he was up against, like, their plea to the jury was essentially like, I got really lucky by sitting here, and everyone else is great, and I didn't really do a lot. So then the guy who was, like, pretending to be retarded was like, yeah, I totally did that so people would drag me to the end, and I would get here. That was my strategy, and everyone was like, whoa, okay, that was pretty good.
Wait, sorry. To clarify, when you said he pretended to be retarded, was he like retarded, or just
No,
This episode's not getting aired.
No, he
Hashtag
was just
fuck me.
yeah. He was just like being an ass to people the entire time, and
Oh,
everyone was
okay.
getting pissed off.
I
about
thought
He
it.
wasn't like,
he pretended to have
changes.
Down
No,
Yeah, okay. Like, oh, I just pretend to be
I'm pretty
retarded.
sure they kill those babies over there when they're retarded. So I doubt.
And let's just stop it now. Wait, I'm gonna have to cut that part out. Appreciate you. What is that? Hour 128. Appreciate you. Thank you for bringing something in right at the end. This is like 6 minutes I'm gonna have to cut. Appreciate you. So
Sorry,
fuck
Joe.
it, I'll just leave it in. Who gives a shit? It'll never go anywhere. Let's just ruin the podcast now. So
It might be one of those things where it's like offensive, and then your podcast will be known by people.
right, but is that what I let's stop talking about this so I can get back to normal conversation and cut out all the things that have happened between you saying they kill retard babies and to us continuing with the fucking show. So my least favorite season was the Africa season. I said it before, but it was just like
What
when they
season was that?
do these gimmicks, we talked about like the good gimmicks, but it's like the bad gimmicks have a serious effect on an entire season. And it can, like, I literally, like, my wife and I were like, let's watch Africa, and then we watched it and we're like, oh, this is the gimmick, and then we watched like 2 more episodes and we're like, wow, this is horrible. Like, one side just like never wins. You know.
No, you missed
all
the
the
gimmick
people-
of that season.
What?
You said you watched the first 3 episodes of that season. Episode 4 was the very first. Basically, Africa was the very first season where they introduced the tribe shuffle, tribe swap. That was the gimmick of Survivor Africa. So at the time, people were like, "Whoa, they never did this thing before," and then 2 or 3 people from each tribe got swapped to different tribes, and then that introduced a whole bunch of other dynamics.
Well, that was
One tribe.
because fucking people were watching it and were like, this is going to be the worst fucking season ever. And then they were like, oh, well, shit, we got to fix this. And then they came up with a new gimmick that would hopefully fix the season. Fuck
No, they were
that.
planning that one from the start.
No
That season
fucking
was
way.
sponsored by Pepsi Twist. And Twist, as in a twist.
What? Oh my fucking god, dude! Are you fucking?
And they did a tribe twist, tribe shuffle.
Let's just
You
end
don't
the
get
podcast. Let's just turn it off.
Why?
Just it was sponsored by Pepsi Twist.
It was.
Oh my fucking god! Fucking Will talking about killing retard babies. Like, we're not.
Well, don't bring it back up when you're done. Jeez.
Oh my fucking god!
I never got to mention the guy who was trying to start a fire, and he kept going like, trying to blow air into the fire, and
Right.
he inhaled too much smoke and passed out into the fire.
Burned his hands off.
And his
What?
face.
Yep.
In his face.
When he woke up, he had to run into the water, and then he was like surrounded by his skin, like floating around him.
His dead skin was hanging off his hands when he picked them out of the water.
What? Oh, that's fucking horrible. What the fuck?
He did not win that season.
No, absolutely not. Holy shit. What is one of the craziest things that you, as viewers, have witnessed in... Like, what was one of those moments when you were watching Survivor and you were like, this is...
Well, I think most recently the biggest shocking one was like when a known reoccurring homosexual player called out this dude. I didn't even know. You couldn't tell at all. Not that it matters, but he called out another player for being transgender, so therefore he's lying to his tribe mates and people shouldn't trust him.
Holy
This
shit.
is Zeke.
It's a pretty big
was
deal.
like short, stocky. He looked like a little hot. He looked like a total bro. And
Yeah.
turned out he
It was
was
a girl?
transgender.
It was a
Yeah.
girl.
Female
a
to
man?
male.
Holy
Yeah.
shit. It was like a gay dude was just like, that's a fucking woman. And like,
Well, he
everyone
saw
was just
Zeke. Why don't you tell everyone that you're transgender? Because you're being deceitful.
Yeah.
And like this
Whoa.
Zeke wasn't trying to use it as part of the show. He wasn't even public about it. Like I'm not
Right.
even sure how the other guy picked up on it because I didn't at all the entire season.
You just thought it was a guy the whole way through?
Well, yeah. Look, you next to the computer, look him up. He looks like a total dude. Or Mike, can
Yeah.
you send a picture?
He has a mustache. Yeah. He has a mustache
Yeah, yeah.
too.
Holy
facial
shit.
hair and everything.
Okay.
But the guy was
dude
like,
just,
yeah, I noticed
outs
he had
this
some-
fucking guy as like a
He said, like, I
transsexual.
think I saw he had, like, breast surgery or something.
Oh, okay. But like, you never would have known, and it ruined both their games. Well, not only did the guy who called him out like ruin his life and his season because like he got fired from his work. He was like a gay activist who was like calling out a closeted, transsexual. or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
dude, just like, hey, fuck you. Holy shit, that looks like a guy. That's a girl?
He has mad chest hair too.
Holy shit, that's actually like a
Or
female to
was a
male
girl.
transsexual?
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't pick up on that at all. Holy
Right?
shit.
I wouldn't know.
That's crazy.
But then
And he was
this
just
guy,
like, he was just like, that's actually a woman.
his game's ruined too, because then other
Right.
people are like, well, Zeke's hella cool, but like now he's gonna win because he's like this like picked on transgender person. So
Right.
they fucking vote him right out.
Oh
No
my-
hesitation.
Zeke or the gay guy?
Well, the gay got voted out without even going to vote. They just I think verbally voted him out, right?
Yeah, Probst was pissed that he did that, and he was like, "So obviously, all you guys are going to vote him out, right? Okay, you're out." And he just quicked him off the show.
No
And then
way.
Yeah, and then he got this is
What?
the gay guy we're talking about. He got fired from his job.
Whoa.
He was I think a gay rights counselor or something like that, where he deals with transgender people all the time.
Yeah.
So his life is ruined.
Holy shit. That is fucking crazy, dude. I mean,
That
shit.
to me was one of the biggest moments, besides some of the evacs.
Yeah.
That was one of the biggest moments that I think I can remember.
Holy, dude, I'm looking at the picture. That looks like just a dude. I mean, holy shit. I mean, go her for I mean,
And especially since this happened during an All-Star season, and this
Yeah.
guy Zeke had been in the season prior to that, so
yeah.
we had gone a season and a half thinking oh, this guy's a total dude, and then all of a sudden Jeff just immediately goes yeah, so I mean, you told everybody you're actually a girl who transitioned to a male. I was like, what?
Whoa.
This is crazy.
He was a
Holy
great player too.
dude.
I
And they
think
just
he
they
was
verbally
primed to
voted
win.
him off. That's crazy.
I think Zeke was going to be primed to win that season too, because he almost won the last season. He was
Yeah.
super smart with how he controlled other players. It was a total bombshell. That guy basically cost him $1 million, I think.
Holy
Yeah, destroyed both their games.
destroyed both their lives. Holy shit. That is fucking wild. I didn't know about that. I haven't seen the new season, so it's that's fucking crazy. That dude looks like, I don't know, like an oil driller. He just looks like a guy, you know?
Man's man.
Like a man's man. Look at that hair, that mustache, that fucking chest hair.
Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, dude. What the fuck? I honestly, I wouldn't know that it was a transsexual if you didn't tell me, at all. How did that guy find out that this person was a transitioning person?
I think Mike commented on he had probably scars on his tits.
Yeah. I listened to a couple of interviews that Jeff did, and he was like, yeah, I work with a lot of transgenders, and I noticed he has some scars there, so I basically knew right away that he was a transgender.
Holy shit.
And he thought he was so smart by calling him out, instantly regretted it.
Oh
there was
my
a-
God.
Remind me what his name was. There was an openly gay, older gardener, little man who liked chickens.
Ty.
Ty, yeah. He almost threw up. He almost threw up. He was so disgusted.
Yeah.
Really? Almost was just how dare you do that? And almost just threw
That's
up.
what people said. I feel like you should bring the clip up too. It was so hardcore.
Everybody on the on his tribe was basically crying because they couldn't believe that he did that, and basically and it wasn't even that he outed him pretty much on national television, because
Yeah.
at this point because of how he got voted out, they basically have to show this.
Right.
And they thought, oh, this should have been Zeke's
Thing. It should
Zeke
have been.
basically should have been the one who wanted to reveal this information, but now you
that's
did
the
it
way
for
it's
him.
supposed to go. It's supposed to be you come out of the closet and you let people know what's going on with you. And if someone jumps in and says, "Well, you're gay or whatever," it's just holy shit. This is crazy. That is huge. That's
You can look it up. There's news articles about it too.
I will.
That might have flown season 8, but definitely not season 30 or 31.
It might have flown in the fucking early 2000s, but definitely not in the 2010s. For sure. That's crazy.
Because now, like, all his coworkers and stuff now, too. Which
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, you leave for Survivor. You tell everybody, hey, I'm going to Survivor. I'm going to have a great time. And then someone goes, hey, this dude's a chick, turn it into a dude, and he hasn't told anybody, and fuck him, right? And everyone's just like, what? Like, I've always known him as like the cool dude that I hung out with at work with, and it just like ruins everybody's life. Like, that is fucking insane. I can't believe that happened. That is fucking wild. That's like one of those things. I would say that there are moments that can only happen with reality television, and that is probably, that's the moment. I mean, that's one of those things that can only happen where they're like, oh, well, he did it and we have to air it because that is fucking crazy. And then they air it, and it's like, it's just one of those situations that can only happen on reality television, which is cool. I mean, so go Survivor for creating something that is so memorable that you would say, out of all the seasons of Survivor, that this is one of the most memorable, crazy thing that's ever happened. And it's new, which is wild. So that means that it tackles all of the things that have ever happened, which is really cool. And I think that can only happen with reality television. Are we done? Is that it? It's fucking
Dead
look at all
air.
that dead air. That was like
Think
fuck,
so.
that was I'm looking at the fucking levels. That was a lot of dead air. So I just fucking shut this shit off right now. Holy
I'm eating
shit!
a taco.
You're eating
Got
a
nothing
taco?
else to
No.
ask then, yeah.
I mean, that was great. I mean, that was. I think people learned a little bit about Survivor today.
I'm probably going to watch episode tonight.
Hey, fuck yeah!
New season.
I think once I can afford to pay for my Hulu again, I'll watch some fucking Survivor myself.
Good.
Well, when these podcasts take off, you'll be rolling in dough, bro.
Yeah, when these podcasts take off, all those bills I'm late on. Fucking howdy doody, dude. Getting paid.
So sponsors come rolling in after this episode.
Yeah, dude. Hey, Bud Light, sponsor me. Hanes Socks. I just want to say, hey, a word from our sponsor. If you made it to the end of this episode, I just want to thank Hanes Socks for being a sock that I can put over my mic to stop the super hard P sounds, and a sock I can put on my foot. Appreciate you.
And a huge shout out to Wolf Cola.
Wolf Cola. Hey, Wolf Cola. Shout out. Patty's Pub. Shout out. Fuck, dude. We just watched the that movie. God damn it. We just fucking watched it. The movie. What movie did they remake? Lethal Weapon. We just watched the Lethal Weapon 5 episode, and it was fucking awesome. Like, my wife and I, we're going to have to talk about this show. This is another television. I'm going to have to write that down. Let me put that in my fucking phone. It's Always Sunny is just like one of the funniest shows that's ever existed.
Agreed.
And I'd love to do an episode.
You need to get your wife on here.
Oh, no, for sure. She wants to do Mad Men, so I'm going to do Mad Men with her, and then I'm going to do probably It's Always Sunny with her. All right. This has gone on for just about the amount of time I want. I'll cut out the fat, and I'll cut out that retarded baby joke. So any last words that I can fucking put in? Let's just fucking shut it off. Jesus Christ. Thanks for being on. This was not informative at all, and I have a lot of editing to do. I appreciate you both. and hope that we'll do another one soon.
I love you, Nick.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Horrible.